claps. You can't.
I guess not.
Claps of love and claps of life.
We just postponed for an hour.
Yeah,
but it already feels like I've been talking to you for over an hour.
Well, whose fault is that?
Yours.
Well, you're the one who postponed it.
I'm not the one that just made the last 5 minutes feel like 2 hours.
Well, let's see what I can do for the next hour and a half. Time expands.
Hello and welcome to episode 614 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, August 14th, 2018. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, is a man from Canada. His name is Greg Stewart. Canada.
Yep.
How's it going? Welcome back.
Thanks.
You missed our spirited show last week with...
No, I didn't miss it.
That was great.
I wouldn't say I missed it.
You missed it.
So many good stories, especially the Wesley Willis story that Bill told on this show last week. It was so good. That was a fun show. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald. This again.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
So was that specifically because CJ doesn't like it when we breathe into the mic?
Yeah, it was specifically.
I
you just blew into the microphone. This isn't Feel the Magic X, Y, XX.
I just want to talk about some allegations that have sprung up lately. I know, this has been really a hard week for me, and I really just want to get this out there. Maybe give you my side of the story. Now,
God,
people are saying a lot of things that I've done, and I have, but I want you to know that what I did on purpose was completely unintentional. That was not my goal to harm those people who I
slander Sam Raimi in the way that you did, using
to harm them. Sam Raimi does not talk like
what?
Like old-timey comedian Ed Wynn.
No.
He doesn't.
What?
It's been years of you slandering his good name.
But I did not intend for him to sound like that. But I did repeatedly.
Yeah.
And
you're sorry.
Maybe,
Oh wait. Don't apologize. Just say
the thing. I have a feeling.
I just looking at our chat. Hacker alias Aktung Baby Blog. He spent all week thinking about this not great bit about the apology video.
Perhaps it's you, Player One Podcast, trying to ride my coattails, trying to build off my name. I dare you. If you think that's a terrible impression, go ahead. Look through the past 11 years of podcasts. See if you can find another terrible impression. Another humorously poor voice.
I think we can.
I'd like to see you try. Why don't you?
Let's get Kotaku to do
that. I can name at least two.
Get Jason Schreier on the phone.
Jason Schreier, you know what? I could beat him up. My dad's stronger than Jason Schreier's dad.
Could you win in a foot race?
No, not anymore. Yeah,
nope.
I mean,
Phil's center of gravity is pretty low.
It's true.
It's gotten lower in the last 10 years.
I'm a little bigger than I used to be, but I'm still a little
then
quick.
Should we just kick it off talking about that? I was going to save that till last in the news, but I guess we can kick it off.
Yeah,
talking about what you're kind of parodying there. You're doing a bit.
No. That was all that was from the heart.
I feel like calling it a bit is being too kind to it, but
I mean, he does share your name, I guess. Philip Mewson,
bringing shame to the name.
That's Phil's right. Middle name Mewson? Is that?
That's my middle name is actually Mucinex. It was a dare.
Okay then. Anyway, it came out this week that Philip Mewson plagiarized his review of Dead Cells. Based on video by Boomstick Gaming.
Yes. Boomstick Gaming.
And after this came to light, Philip was let go from IGN,
which is the only thing they could do.
by
By the way, I want to say IGN handled this very well.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I agree. And then Philip posted a video on his YouTube channel that is now gone from the YouTube channel.
Well, you know, he made his money off it and he got rid of it.
Yeah, it was monetized.
It was monetized.
He monetized his apology video, as you do.
Sure.
His non-apology.
Non-apology.
I mean, let's
non-apology.
Let's be very clear. It was a terrible apology video in that it was not an apology video.
In the video,
entertaining apology video, but
in the video, he took a swipe at Jason Schreier and then also said, you know, go ahead and try to find more examples.
Jason did.
Which, by the way, you never want to ask the internet to go ahead and find more examples of something if you're not ready for those things to come.
Especially when you're addressing a journalist.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do your job. If you think you've done your job already.
To go even further than that, Jason's pretty good at his job.
Right.
Like you're addressing it to a journalist who does know what he's doing. not like you when you were at IGN.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've seen people complaining that people are sort of dogpiling on him, or that it's. I'm never a fan of, but honestly, he invited it with that. Well, that's
he should have. He honestly should have. There was no my side of the story.
No,
right? I mean, the best thing for him to do was to disappear,
right,
and maybe resurface, you know, a while later. But yeah, disappear.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is no dogpiling here because there was no need for the video he created, and the video he created was so disingenuous.
Right, that's true.
And I mean, in so many ways,
flat out says in the video, "Come get me."
Right.
Well, I mean, but on top of that, I mean, the way he treats the fact that he plagiarized something as this unavoidable set of circumstances.
Whoops!
He's trying to call it research, which, by the way, if you're looking at other people's reviews when you're reviewing a product, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, monetized it, basically treated it like, oh man, I don't know, I didn't see that car coming. You know, like it just happened. But on top of that, I think the thing that pissed me off the most about that video, the fact that it's monetized, pissed me off the most about that video is that he actually he congratulates Boomstick Gaming on their newfound popularity and hopes that they can capitalize on it. It's like, really? Go fuck yourself. Like, sorry, I know that we don't like to say things like that on the show, but that is such you're a prick for saying that.
Yeah.
That's because I guarantee that's not the way those people wanted to gain notoriety.
No.
And then to paint yourself as a victim on top of all of it. No.
And then to have 2 or 3 more reviews come out that are also incredibly close to the work of other people.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
And also, there like people are mentioning in our chat here, there are shows and outlets talking about inviting him on to talk about it. Don't do that.
No,
don't give this more oxygen. No. Like, he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't talk to Boomstick Gaming.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it, you know. Like, but anyway,
that's the person who was doing the work.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really. But no, it's terrible. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, we've all, the three of us, have been professional video game reviewers at some point in our life. Honestly, is it a difficult job?
No.
Is it a difficult job?
I mean, I'll back it up. It is a difficult job.
Okay, no, it's not. First of all,
no, it is.
Not.
It is when you have a high volume of games to play and review in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
right.
Or if you're not, if you know, and I'm sure a lot of us have experienced this, you know, writer's block when writing a review,
right?
And oftentimes it's with the games that are very middling. Where you're like, what am I going to say about this?
Well, what you're
neither amazing nor trash.
Right. What Greg is saying with it is difficult when you have a lot of games to review. It becomes a difficult job when you have someone who is poorly managing your workload.
Right.
Which is
he might have had.
He might have had. He might have had too much on his plate, and that's
Sure.
that could potentially be a result of poor management. Or I don't know his role over there,
He
but
was a Nintendo editor.
He was the Nintendo editor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he also hosted the Nintendo Voice Chat podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but video game reviewing is not a difficult job. It's not. It can be stressful at times. I'm not trying to say it's not stressful at times.
You can boil that down even further and say,
yeah,
being paid to write your opinions on anything, not hard. What do you think? Write it down.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, there's writer's block, and yes, there's stressful workloads on occasion.
And there's a level of talent that needs to exist there.
Of course. Yeah. But, this is not, it's not rocket science. It's not, he's not mining for coal.
Well, and this Philip in particular was a YouTuber before joining IGN and had done, video work, and you would have thought that would translate over to
when you consider that all these examples of past plagiarism they're finding is from his YouTube days,
right?
That's.
Can I say too? And I mean, I'm not trying to paint everyone with the same brush here,
right?
But it is something you see, and there are some, there are a lot of people that get a lot of hits and make some cash off of using other people's content on their YouTube channels. It's a very common thing. Like there's I follow a NASCAR Heat page on Facebook because the new one's coming out soon. Yeah, and they just released a gameplay trailer of the new game. And then the guy who runs this page that I follow, he is a YouTuber, and he posted the standard reaction videos that you get. But it was like a 10-minute video, 8 minutes of which was just the trailer again.
Oh, really?
And it's monetized, and it's and it's like it's not so uncommon. And I mean, I'm willing to bet that he might not have known any better. However, that's not an excuse.
Right.
I'm just saying as a reason, because honestly, when you go on YouTube, this type of thing is rampant.
Right.
Sure.
But IGN should have known better.
Right. Well,
but how do you know? How do you figure that out?
I mean, that's another thing. I've seen people trying to lay the blame on this on IGN, which is ridiculous.
No, how do you lay the blame on this? IGN, other than to say, like, to bring up things in the past that have happened as if some larger conspiracy.
I've seen people arguing with obviously zero knowledge on the subject that IGN should have done their research before hiring him to see if he's ever plagiarized anything in the past.
How do you do that in the context of the
internet? You can't, of course. You can't, of course. It's ridiculous. The assumption when you hire a writer is that writer is going to have the bare minimum of ethics to write their own material, to not steal words from another writer. That is the assumption. It's the same assumption you make where this person who is sitting here, whom I am interviewing, is not going to come and stab everyone in the office on their first day of work. You just assume that they're going to play by the rules.
You do a certain level of vetting.
Yeah.
And then you assume that person has a soul and isn't going to pull anything like this.
Right. And there is absolutely no feasible way to go through every single word or every single minute of footage that this person has composed in the past and compare it with every other video game review channel on YouTube, of which there are thousands upon thousands. There's absolutely no way you can do that. All you can do is assume the best.
Yeah.
And if it turns out to not be the case, you take immediate action, which IGN did.
Yeah, I still think they handled it as well as they could.
Oh, of course they did. They most definitely did.
If,
what do you
they
think
come back
about
with some kind of mealy-mouthed apology and let him keep his job, that would have been terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this, and the two examples that were previous to this, as if they were on his YouTube channel, maybe they're not going to be as easily found. But of course, working for IGN, someone is going to watch. Lots of people are going to watch that video and read that review, and taking something from Boomstick Gaming, which before now I'd never heard of.
Well, that's just it. I mean, it's a small. That would be like expecting someone to check my channel when they're researching someone. I mean, I have less than 4,000 subscribers. Like, no,
you actually have fewer than 4,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
but
both. But anyway, I don't think you can lay any real blame on IGN here. I mean, it happens everywhere. It's how you handle those situations that's more important,
right?
But that he said that it was unintentional and tried to play it off as something that just happens.
Yeah,
is
when you're doing research.
I have a feeling, and this is based on absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the guy. I don't know how thorough he was. He's trying to lay it at the feet of him being so thorough and researching so much.
Right.
That was sort of the message he was sending out in his video. And to me, it almost feels like this, and then the other things that have come up almost smacks of someone who didn't play the game very much.
And then gave it a 9.7.
And but then of course, especially in today's where you've got the video reviews, and of course online the reviews are much more long form. You can't really bullshit your way through something like that too much.
Right.
But totally fair. Back when we were writing 200 word reviews, 200 word reviews, a lot easier to bullshit your way through something like that.
Right.
Not that I ever did, but just saying, could be easier to do. You can't really do that with a long form review, so you've got to be able to speak intelligently about the deeper systems and the deeper, the deeper gameplay and how different systems affect one another. And if you've only played it for a couple hours, you might not be able to speak to that. So I think there's an element of that here. The thing is that he's just, from the excerpts that have been shown, he's just really terrible at covering his tracks.
Yeah,
he's using the exact same wording a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he did play the game. But I mean, that's how it reads to me.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's the truth.
Although, Greg, I don't want to put you on the spot here, Greg, and I consider you a friend, but I was rewatching your Generation 16, your most recent review, and I noticed it's pretty much just it's an old Crontendo review. You just lifted the audio, and every time Dr. Sparkle said wampum, you just overdubbed you saying Techno Cop.
Yeah.
And it's really blatant.
But you'll see that I gave him special thanks in the credits.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay.
Makes
Well,
it okay.
Okay. Well, he should be happy for the extra traffic.
Yeah. I mean, there's fewer than 4,000 people extra there, right?
There you go. Or less than. I don't know. There you
son
go.
of a
Hi,
bitch.
Greg. I love you, Greg.
And the other thing is too, as far as researching and looking at other people's reviews, I mean, one of the things that I think all professional reviewers fall into a trap a little bit, and I'm willing to guess that the three of us are all part of this. I know I am. Is sometimes, especially like CJ said, in a middling game, a game that you're not really sure of, you kind of you get into that situation where it's like, what are other people saying about this game?
Right.
Am I completely off base here? Like,
yeah, no, it's natural to kind of have that self-doubt. It's like, it's like the game is fine, I guess, but it doesn't. There's something about it where it doesn't feel as good as it should. But I mean, it's not that bad. Once you kind of get into those like 6 out of 10 games,
it gets tough.
Yeah,
it's super tough.
And especially, and not that this was the case, but especially if it's a AAA game or something from a publisher like Nintendo or Sony, where you really high quality, and it's terrible, then you're kind of like, am I wrong about this? Like, I would say that especially with EGM, we did do that to a point. I mean, we always say that we reviewed everything completely in a vacuum, but we didn't. There were always times when reviewers got together and we didn't necessarily agree with each other. There you go. We didn't necessarily always agree with each other. I mean, I think Guitar Man is a good example for us, CJ.
Yeah,
where I gave that, where I gave that like a 6.5, but we all agreed that it was really good. We just didn't agree on what the score should be.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah, I wish I'd given that a higher review.
I do too now, hindsight. But
Guitar Man's so good.
At the time, that was a short game and full price. But anyway,
yep.
It's a whole other argument about video game reviews right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think the guy needs to disappear for a while. Philip needs to disappear. I think I think people need to stop trying to get him to come on to shows or videos and talk about it.
I had a nickel for every time I heard Greg say Philip needs to disappear. Jeez.
This time it's just not about you, which
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, should we get on to some other news?
Sure.
Okay, we can run down this stuff pretty quick, I think. There's a big Smash Brothers Direct last week. Did you guys check that out?
I watched bits of it.
Got Simon Belmont as a character in there.
You know what? EGM already fooled me with that Simon Belmont appears in Ninja Turtles arcade game. I do not believe that he's going to be in. I think this is another joke.
You're not buying it.
No, because you know what? I sat there and I tried putting that code in to get him to show up in Ninja Turtles.
So many times.
And it didn't work. So yeah, once bitten, twice shy.
Yep.
maybe for the next Smash Nintendo.
Okay. Well, Richter Belmont is also in.
So well, yeah, that I believe.
But Richter's just an alt character, right? He's
alt character,
the same character.
He's an Echo. Greg.
I cannot believe the number of stages and the amount of music that's going to be in that. It's unreal.
Plus 34 tracks just from Castlevania.
There's over 300 tracks in the game.
I thought it was over 800.
Oh, 800. Sorry, 300. Yeah. That's
more than 800 music tracks in the game.
It's ridiculous.
Is this game going to come on multiple cards?
103 stages. Yeah, exactly.
All downloadable.
It's going to be $150, and it's the largest cartridge that Nintendo's ever made.
800 music tracks?
800 music tracks, yeah.
That is cuckoo bonkers.
Honestly, I'm more than anything, I think I just want the soundtrack.
28 hours of music. That would be like how many discs? 28 discs.
They're
basically. Music comes on discs these days?
Yeah.
It does. Sometimes.
DJ's the all-digital guy when it comes to games.
I know.
Buying CDs.
I need to buy a CD for that.
Well, Nintendo didn't put that stuff out on iTunes.
You could at least, CJ, you could at least go the hipster route and say like, it's gonna come on 75 vinyls.
Oh, there you go.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what you.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
You're CJ's still mourning Best Buy dropping CDs from their inventory.
No.
But if you go on the Smash website, they've been rotating in samples of the different songs.
Oh, is that right?
It's pretty cool, actually.
That's nice.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, there's so much content in this game.
I'll tell you what. That direct just made me want Luigi's Mansion.
I know. It also made me want that. We get the remake on 3DS pretty soon.
But it's true. 3DS games?
Yeah.
It's got who's it called? The Mario and Luigi?
Yeah, the Bowser's Inside Story.
Bowser's Inside Story, that's the one.
Okay, so it's remakes. Yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A lot of great Smash stuff.
What do you think about that, huh?
The minute that was announced, I was like, all right, where's Wart?
Yeah.
I want Wart.
Really,
couldn't give a shit about King K. Rool. I want Wart.
Oh! Because he's cruel.
No.
He's cruel.
Done.
He's a king who's cruel. I got it. Okay. You got me, Rare.
That's right.
Figured it out. I got you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Anyway.
King K. Rool. Yeah. Donkey Kong. You know what? I think we've all talked about how Donkey Kong Country is kind of dookie.
Uh-huh.
Except for the new Donkey.
The new ones are good.
Donkey Kong Country.
I enjoyed the first Donkey Kong Country.
Tropical Freeze and
that was really good.
Yeah, all the new Donkey Kong Countries are pretty great, but those SNES ones, come on. King K. Rool, garbage character.
Okay.
Not a fan of King K. Rool. Give me Wart though. Jeez, come on. Yeah.
They need to have SMB2 represent.
Where's our Mario 2 nostalgia?
Seriously.
It's right there. It's right out there with the Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2 nostalgia.
Yeah, really.
Here's the
some
thing.
veggies in that dude's mouth.
If they can put Crystal from Star Fox Adventures in as an assist trophy, Wart should be in this game.
Well, Crystal's got that sex appeal. You know?
I guess
if you want some Wart sex appeal though, CJ, talk to me after the show. I got a link I can send you to my DeviantArt page with some sexy warts.
I'm frightened.
Yeah. Subcon after dark, baby.
Something about vegetables getting stuffed in all sorts of places.
Oh, baby. Oh.
All right. Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal.
Tell me about this. What is the new Doom?
It's a new Doom.
It's just it's just a sequel.
It's just a sequel. Well, it's got a bunch of extra stuff, but the real news that I wanted to focus on is
kind of what a sequel has.
It's coming to Switch.
Coming to Switch. Well, Doom is on Switch.
Doom is
let's
on Switch.
let's not talk about the game. Let's just talk about the fact
the fact that it's on Switch.
Totally on Switch.
Yeah, it's at least it's on a system worth owning, right, CJ?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. It's portable. Yeah. Anyway, Fortnite.
Kids love Fortnite.
About this.
Kids love the Fortnite.
They do. Epic Games is skipping the Google Play Store with Fortnite because on Android devices you can have games install from non-Google Play sources.
Yes,
and that's what they're doing in order to avoid the sort of 30% cut that Google would take off of.
And I mean, why would you? Why? That's going to be I mean,
that's millions of dollars
for anybody, but yeah,
that would be millions of dollars in this game's case.
Yeah,
it will be very, very interesting to see if other like popular games do the same thing.
I think it's going to set a precedent. I think that Google will end up stepping in and trying to do something about it.
You think?
Even if it's just to give them a sweeter deal.
Possible.
Because, I mean, 10% of that would be better than 0% of that.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if you heard about this. Sony is introducing a new edition of the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's called the 500 million limited edition PS4 Pro.
So it's limited to 500 million?
To commemorate 500 million PlayStation systems being sold.
So is this actually a new system, or is it just like a repaint of the Pro?
It's a repaint. It's a PS4 Pro with a clear shell, and it comes with a DualShock and the PlayStation 4 camera as well. Okay. And it'll be available soon for $499 US, $639 Canadian, and is limited to 50,000 units.
Speaking of expensive systems that nobody's buying, I think that the Xbox One X is being cleared out at Costco up here.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay.
I saw a post that seemed to,
I'm sure it's just a mistake or something like that.
I don't know. It's that whole I think they were $100 off, but the price ends in 97, which normally means it's a clearance item.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Got to make room for new.
Yeah, whatever new system there,
and such, because they're probably going to do that for the holidays,
right?
Yes.
So new PS4 Pro. I have no interest in buying a limited edition.
You have one already, right?
Why would PS4 Pro?
Yeah.
Yes. Why would you get another one?
The only edition of PS4 that I was very tempted on, but of course couldn't get, was the one that looked like the PS1 colors.
Oh, right.
That was cool.
The 20th anniversary.
That one was pretty great.
That looked awesome. But unfortunately, I was not able to get one of those. Anyway,
I am not buying new systems until they actually bring out new systems. I'm still rocking my original PS4 and my original Xbox One.
There you go.
Wow.
Red Dead Redemption 2, we got an official gameplay.
Oh my God, does that look gorgeous?
Yeah, this is the first. So I've watched all the videos previously that had like cinematics, but This one was the first one that got me really excited about playing this.
Oh,
Because, of course, they go through a lot of the systems in the game and things that you'll be doing, and it just looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be so good.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait for it on Switch, though.
Oh, Jesus. Now, the one thing I will say is
I'm not waiting for it.
It looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. It looks like it's going to be loads of fun.
Yeah.
I also feel like it looks a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
When they kind of Rockstar games,
I know those big open world games, but it's like I feel like I don't know. I hope that I can sort of mainline the story and not have to play it for like 4 years to finish it.
Right.
Well, I'm sure it has an online component that we haven't even really.
Yeah, it's not something I'll be taking part in. But
yeah,
GTA 5 online is just a monster.
Yeah,
I'm sure they want another title that would be just as much of a cash cow, right?
Yeah. Although that is a big chunk of game that I will never see any of because I don't care.
I have no interest.
Yeah,
I have no interest in an online mode now.
No,
I just want to go through my little cowboy story.
Yeah, and that looks extremely good. It's going to be fun.
It looks beautiful. So
yeah,
I will definitely be picking that up.
Yes.
When is that out?
October,
I think.
Jeez, that's
October
soonish.
Something. It is.
Man, it's starting. This month is the month where everything starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next month is like Spider-Man and then Dragon Quest and then Tomb Raider and then not Smash Brothers. What comes out?
Smash is in December.
Smash is December. Yeah. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff in September. And then October, obviously, Red Dead 2. Mm-hmm. And the new Assassin's Creed.
Oh, Pokemon in November.
Stuff. Oh, Pokemon in November. Yeah.
I might play that.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk about what we have been playing?
Let's talk about what we've been playing.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Greg, since you were not here, I'll let you
I'm going to do this, and I'm going to apologize up front because I didn't actually play this week, but I played it the previous week and then wasn't able to.
You did.
No.
I thought you were going to say you didn't play it, but you have a review ready. Since that seems to be the thing this week.
Well, I mean, I need to talk to Philip Mnuchin and see what.
Hold on. What game?
Mnuchin?
What game
is that his last name?
Mnuchin.
Mnuchin.
I don't know. Text. You know what, Greg? Just text me. I'll tell you what I thought of the game.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just keep it hush hush.
I'm actually looking for some other EGM editors. No offense, Game Now, but
hey, wow.
Well, Greg, I'll send you what I think of this game.
Okay, there you go. Could I maybe find out what Crispin Boyer thinks of it?
That's that's a good idea.
Maybe
that's
Mark
a better
McDonald?
idea. Yeah, that's a better idea.
Yeah.
No, I played Sea of Thieves. With
my goodness,
with the Siege.
Yeah,
I played Siege of Thieves.
You did.
Last week during the I don't know what it was called, CJ.
Cursed Sales.
Thank you, the Cursed Sales event. And I just have to say that was hands down my favorite experience with Sea of Thieves. The best one since it came out. That's what I've been looking for in that game. The reason I don't play that too much is because unlike CJ, there's only so much hopping island to island I can do to dig up treasure chests and loot and all that crap.
What do you mean? I've dug up almost 1,700 treasure chests.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's unreal.
Come on.
But you know what? That's fine. You enjoy that. You're getting your money's worth. That's fantastic. Ship-to-ship combat is what I was more interested in. And man, that night when you just had ghost ships coming at you in waves, and you're teaming up with other ships, other player ships as well. There was one point where there were at least 4 ships sort of sailing around each other, firing at each other, and it was glorious. I had a grin ear to ear the whole night when I was playing that. I just had such a great time with it. And and then of course the Megalodon shark kept showing up.
Yes.
Because nothing was hard enough already. So yeah, that was fun.
And the Megalodon was an equal opportunity biter.
It actually attacked some of the skeleton ships. Yeah.
Before us.
Huh.
Yeah. And I've seen the skeleton ships actually firing on the megalodon.
Yeah. So yeah, there's lots going on in the water now, and that's what I always wanted from that game. So
yeah,
super happy with it when I was playing it last week with CJ and Mike. And the new ship is nice too. The new ship is really well tailored for a 3-person crew.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, so I played that. I finally finished the Fantastic Beasts story pack for Lego Dimensions.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really what that reminded me of more than anything else is I don't remember anything about Fantastic Beasts.
The movie.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw that movie when it came out in theaters.
Yeah, same here.
And I remember, and I did a double feature that day. I went and saw that, and I went and saw Moana. And Moana, outstanding. Moana, very, very good movie. And then I followed that up with Fantastic Beasts, and was drifting off in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and I was bored by it, and I'd always kind of wondered, am I, is the movie just not that good, or is it a result of me sitting in a theater for like 5 hours or so?
I think it's the former.
Well, and you know what? The wife and I, a couple weeks ago, we decided, let's watch it again. The new one's coming out. We're in kind of a Harry Potter-ish mood. Let's watch it and see how it is. And it's just not a very good film.
No, and it's, I think too, the fact that you have to compare it to the Harry Potter films,
right,
in your head, in the very least. And the Harry Potter films, I think, with the exception of which one, there was one I wasn't crazy about. It's a Half-Blood Prince, maybe.
Half-Blood Prince wasn't great.
Yeah, it was probably the weakest one of those films, but in general, all really strong movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm playing through, because I mean the story packs in Lego Dimensions, like the whole idea is that you're playing through those films,
right?
And I didn't have what you normally get with those Lego games, which is just like, oh yeah, I remember, like you sort of have that sense of nostalgia,
right,
and sort of their comedic take on the major beats of the film. It was the same problem I had playing through the Ghostbusters one, to be honest. The Ghostbusters, was it 2016 or?
Yeah, the
because
not the reboot.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Because that movie, the story from that movie didn't stick with me either.
No.
So both times it's just like, oh, this was a thing that happened. I completely forgot about this. So still quality stuff, but a little bit disappointing. The Lego Batman movie pack was fantastic, but
nice.
Yeah, the other two not so much. So, but I'm finally finished with it. So I'm done with Lego Dimensions. I think I've played it more than enough.
Yeah.
So
sounds like you finished everything. So
yeah. So now I'm in the process of trying to offload all of it.
Well, send me the minifigures. I'll take those off your hands.
I'll send you some prices. And yeah. So anyway, still excellent. Still one of my favorite games, Lego Dimensions. This week I've been playing through classic adventure games. Played through King's Quest a couple weeks ago, the original King's Quest. This week I played through a game that I had no idea existed called The Dallas Quest.
Dallas Quest.
Who shot JR?
It is based on the television show Dallas.
Wow.
I tuned into your stream of this for maybe 5 minutes.
It's bonkers.
I didn't even know you were streaming at that point. I honestly, I had popped onto Twitch, and I intended to just pop over to your channel and do the little like monthly favorite thing to kind of give you my free
Prime sub.
Yeah, to give you that,
which I appreciate, by the way.
Well, as well you should. It's a big effort on my part. But yeah, and I get over there, and it turns out you're in the middle of a game, and I see at the top of the screen you have the title. It's you're playing the Dallas Quest, and you were like in a jungle. They were like, like cannibals or something.
So Dallas, I mean, I'm assuming most of our listeners know what Dallas is, but just a little refresher. Dallas was a primetime soap opera that ran from like 1978 to 1991, about this basically oil tycoon family named the Ewings, and it's the Hatfields and the McCoys, basically. but it's the Ewings and the Barnes. And the whole, I guess you'd probably say Romeo and Juliet at the beginning, because the whole idea of that show is that Bobby Ewing and Pamela Barnes run away together to get married, and that's like a terrible thing because these two families are rivals.
You know way more about Dallas than
I
ever
did. I did my research before I played because I was streaming it.
I knew there was a character
famous
research.
It's famous for like 3 things. Yeah. The show is famous for 3 things. One, J.R. Ewing is one of the greatest television villains ever.
Right.
Because he's just gleefully evil at all times. And he ended up being like the main character of the show. Yeah. There's, of course, the famous Who Shot J.R.
Right.
Cliffhanger, which The Simpsons spoofed with Mr. Burns.
Right.
And then there's the famous if you're paying attention, there was a whole season where the guy who played Bobby, I can't remember his name, but the actor decided to leave the show. So they wrote his character off by killing him. But then they convinced him to come back a season later. And the way that they fixed it was that it was, I think, his ex-wife's. That whole season was a dream.
Yeah.
Right. He had died. Right. And so anyway, yes, the Dallas Quest is an adventure game based on the series. I think it was released in 1984. So it was when the series was still pretty new. And yeah, you start in South Fork, which is the Ewing's ranch. And you've been hired by JR and his wife, Sue Ellen, to find a map, I believe it is. And
I love how knowledgeable you are about Dallas.
That's great. So
were you a fan of the show?
The reason why I bring this up is because the game itself is so insane, because it starts off like it's the Dallas game. So it's like, I'm in South Fork. I'm in the world of this series, right?
You're in Texas on an oil ranch.
Texas on an oil ranch. Sounds perfect, right?
Right.
It's not an oil ranch, by the way, but we'll get into that later. But anyway,
okay.
Almost immediately, you're in the jungles of South America. Looking for this thing. But it's insane. Like the first scene that you're in the jungle, this is awesome. You've parachuted out of a plane.
Okay.
You're in a tree, and there's a monkey.
Okay.
And I forget what it might be a snake. I don't remember. The way you get out of the tree, that you're tangled parachute, is you've got a pouch of chewing tobacco.
Okay.
You open the pouch, you give the pouch to the monkey. The monkey loves chewing tobacco.
Monkeys are notorious dippers.
So
that's just biology. That
gets you out of the tree.
Right.
And then you have to remember to take the chewing tobacco back from him, or else he'll empty the bag, and then you can't do anything else. So then you go through the jungle. At one point, you're attacked by a boa constrictor who you tickle under the chin to get rid of him. Because you get to a boat on a river. The boat's leaking.
Plug it with chewing tobacco.
No.
The snake.
You give the monkey the chewing tobacco.
Okay.
He enjoys it so much he plugs the hole with his tail. There's at least 4 different.
Are we sure? Are we sure it's the tail?
Later in the game,
monkeys really like chewing tobacco.
Later in the game, you're
they
in
apparently
an
enjoy sticking their tails in
holes
in rope.
You're in an abandoned variety store, supply store, and the monkey uncovers something secret when you give him chewing tobacco.
Okay.
Later, you're trying to get eggs from a gigantic vulture's nest. Give the monkey the chewing tobacco.
And he'll do it. Is this just the solution for every problem?
It's the solution for every major problem until you find out that the leader of the cannibals who are trying to eat you at the end is actually J.R. Ewing in disguise.
What?
I'm not making any of this up. It's amazing. Please, I'm gonna put CJ. I'll put up the video on my YouTube channel, and you put a link in the show notes because you've got to watch it.
Does the end of the game? Are you with the monkey at the animal hospital as you were?
No, the monkey finally. When you run out of chewing tobacco, I think the monkey leaves you alone. But it's funny because it's basically a text adventure, and in the monkey's with you in every scene. It's hilarious.
That's a beautiful. Yeah, because when I tuned in, you were right in the midst of the whole cannibal thing, and it's all done very stereotypical.
Oh yeah,
kind of racist. What you would expect from the 80s.
It's 1984.
Yeah, depiction of South American cannibals.
Yes.
Well, that's a twist. I would have
Yes.
expected they would have gone straight to Africa for that.
I feel like so. What I will say is I feel like that this was not a Dallas game when it was created.
Clearly not.
You know, so
because
somewhere got a license.
Because yeah, you're sitting there and you got there's people wearing like the big kind of tribal masks and they're threatening to eat you. And I see the name Dallas Quest and I didn't even make the connection that
why would you?
And I cracked a joke. I was like, oh, are we gonna find out who shot JR in this game? Dip, 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 dip. And then like guy takes off his mask. Hey, it's me, JR Ewing. I got my cowboy hat on. I got my 20-gallon cowboy hat on under my cannibal tribal mask.
Well, and the way that, of course, the way that you find out it's JR is, I believe, you give the monkey chewing tobacco, and he goes. I think it's still the chewing tobacco, and he goes and he lifts the robe of the head of the cannibal chief, and he's wearing cowboy boots.
Of
and that's
course,
how you know it's JR.
You know, in you know, Donkey Kong Country.
Mm-hmm.
You know the
is JR in that too?
No. It's in the original Japanese version of the game. You have Donkey Kong. He has his banana hoard of all his thousands of bananas. In the original Japanese version, it's just a giant hut filled with chewing tobacco.
True. Yeah. Filled with cha.
With snuff. Is that another chewing tobacco term?
Snuff is chewing tobacco. I think that's something different.
Oh, okay. I don't
know.
I don't chew.
I have only ever seen one person use chewing tobacco.
Dip, as it were. Yeah.
And I was taken aback when it happened. I was like, wow, people besides cartoon characters do this? Like,
yeah. My grandfather
oh, really?
Was a big this is my mom's side of the family where they are kind of, you know, southern folk. And grandpa was a big chewing tobacco fan. So every time we'd go down to visit him, he was always sitting in he had like a lazy boy in his living room, and he had it's
a disgusting habit.
An old rusty metal coffee tin next to the couch, and he'd sit there and he'd talk to you, and then he'd just, you know, without missing a beat, he'd lean over, pick it up, you know, spit it right in there and set it down. And you make the mistake of looking
in the can.
You look in the tin once.
Wow.
You never have to look at it again.
Yeah.
Because it's just
an
inch or two of just
the grossest, most disgusting looking liquid you've ever seen in your life.
But I'll tell you what, you pour that on grandma's homemade biscuits, and man, this is like heaven in your mouth.
Suddenly,
now, see, we had
a hole.
A lot of the old men in my family were pipe smokers, but that was about it.
Really? Okay.
Anyway, so Dallas Quest, that was interesting. And then I finally picked up a new Switch game. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But it was Picross. So
Picross, as well it should be.
S2, yep.
Picross S2.
I got nothing to say about it. It's just amazing. Picross is awesome. So glad to have more Picross.
Yes, it is. Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Did you how much of Picross S2 have you played?
I'm about 4 pages in. I'm still on 10 by 10 puzzles, but I'm also doing the whatever it's called, the
clip Picross version is what I wanted to talk to you about.
The 20 by 20s there.
Okay, because it's they don't have Micross in this game anymore. They have clip Picross.
Okay.
Where instead of because Micross, you are building a large picture out of multiple little 10 by 10 squares.
Yes.
Whereas clip Picross, now you are building a picture out of a bunch of irregularly sized.
Yeah, it's just honestly all it is another menu of Picross puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's fine. It's not,
I enjoy it because it's got different dimensions. The puzzles are dimensions, so I kind of dig that.
So I bet it's like, so you might get like a 5 by 15 puzzle you have to solve, but then you might get stuck having to do a dopey little 5 by 5 or something.
Yeah.
It's certainly not as good as Micross, but it is not just an abomination like Mega Picross.
Yeah, screw that.
Mega Picross is terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, great game.
That's it. That's all I've been playing.
Well, Phil, since you already were talking about Picross, you can just continue talking about what you've been playing.
The other game I've been playing,
yeah,
and at least one Philip has been playing this game, Dead Cells. Have you seen this game? Have you heard about this game?
I have heard about this game. Yeah,
there's been a little conversation about this game this week, and you know what? I feel bad for Dead Cells. Because Dead Cells is really, really quite good, and it's sort of getting mired in this whole stupid IGN hullabaloo.
Yep, I agree.
But the game is really quite good. Did you pick it up?
I did pick it up, yeah, and I played a little bit of it to the point where I died the first time.
Okay, so you just did one run through of it.
One run, yes.
Okay, I've done a handful of runs so far.
Yeah.
Actually, I had to cut a run short to come record this nonsense.
Yeah.
Much to the dismay of my son, who's been having a kick watching me play through that.
Oh, nice.
But no, it's a really great game. So it's for those who don't know, it's set up. It's a rogue like.
I thought it was a rogue light. What's the difference between roguelikes and roguelites?
Rogue. Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
It's roguelite though because it has elements.
Yes,
of that, but it's not
a rogue-like.
Yes,
is a game that is more closely in spirit or in structure to this old game that's actually just called Rogue,
which nobody knows about.
Really. Yeah, which nobody. Yeah,
nobody using the term roguelike knows that.
You'd know about it.
Well, yeah.
I did a whole thing on it.
Roguelikes, you're looking at like your what is it?
Copied it from Boomstick Gaming though.
Yeah, yeah. You're Sheeran the Wanderer. Your mystery dungeon games. Those are all roguelikes. The roguelites are games that use that sort of play through multiple times, improving your stats, improving your choice of weapons or armor every time. But in perhaps more of an actiony type of setting. So your things like Rogue Legacy or certainly your Dead Cells.
That's your roguelite.
That is your roguelite.
Yeah.
That is the way I understand it anyway.
Yeah, a roguelike is much more like a Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
Toe Jam and Earl's a roguelike.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or more closely resembling it would be like Fatal Labyrinth.
Yeah. I was
Fatal Labyrinth.
Yeah, if you want your Sega roguelike game, yeah, Fatal Labyrinth's the one to go for.
Yeah.
But so it's a roguelite. But it's structured like a Castlevania game, like a Symphony of the Night. Or a Metroid style. Certainly not a combination of the two.
Nope.
But it's like one of those. Pick one. But yeah, it's great. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It controls really well.
Very actiony.
Very, very actiony.
I like it.
I love the graphics. I love the look of it. I think it's beautiful looking. I love the animation. Oh, the animation is really nice.
Fast and fluid.
Yes, indeed. The way I like most things.
Like that Vin Diesel film?
That's the Fast and the Fluidus.
The Fast and the Fast and the Fluid. The stickiest film you'll see all year.
Only after you see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That Vin
well, Paul Rubens on that.
I get it. My
kids are so into Pee-wee's Playhouse right now. It's awesome.
Nice.
Because it's on Netflix, and my youngest is
is it really
crazy about it? Yeah.
I wonder if it's on Netflix down here.
I don't know, but
I think it is. My daughter was way into the Christmas special.
Isabella is so into it right now, and it's like, and I normally don't have the patience to sit and watch a lot of episodes of anything that she really likes. Except this is the second time it's happened. The first time when she got crazy into Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
And now she's crazy into Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I'm like, this is so good for my soul.
That kid's got a good sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, Dead Cells is great. I've gotten a pretty solid run. Because it's structured. When you did your run, CJ, did you get to kind of the end of the level, as it were?
Yeah, like the portal to the next area.
Yes, where you meet you meet friendly characters who will heal you and
upgrade your stuff.
Yeah, you spend the cells that you earn killing enemies to upgrade your items and stuff. I made it to the second area. I made it to the second sort of safe zone in between areas. So
yes, I really like and I haven't done any research on this, so maybe I'm not correct. You tell me.
You should always research your game before you form an opinion.
But being a roguelite, the way I understand it is kind of like Rogue Legacy, where it has distinct areas, but it sort of pieces those together from it's a different structure each time, but of course
the areas are randomly
areas.
Yeah. You always, at least so far, you always like the areas that I've gone through, they're always the same type of area.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the levels themselves are rearranged and restructured.
Yeah, I really dig that.
Yeah, and Rogue Legacy is the same. You start off in the castle. If you go all the way to the right, you're going to find the forest. If you go up, you're in kind of the attic. If you go down, you're in kind of the hellscape area. And yeah, Dead Cells is very much structured the same way.
Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot.
And I'll say, you know what? At the risk of poo-pooing 20XDX, that kind of Mega Man styled roguelite.
Yeah.
But Dead Cells makes that game look like Dookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 20XDX is good. It's ugly as sin to look at, though, because it just has terrible character design, and I just hate the art. And looking at Dead Cells next to that, it's just like, man.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Although you got to remember that some people don't like pixel art, and that's weird.
That is weird.
We got a tweet from somebody who didn't like the look of Dead Cells, and I was like,
"Oh, really?
How do you not like the look of Dead Cells? It looks so good."
It's very much like kind of 32-bit style. Pixel art, though. You know, it's not, you know, and I can understand, because so many indie games these days kind of, you know, they lean hard into that the pixel art look with mixed results.
Sure.
You know, if I may fillet Rogue Legacy some more, I think Rogue Legacy is beautiful looking with its pixel art.
I feel like you may have worn out Rogue Legacies.
Man, dude, I love. You know how much CJ likes
that's your
Thieves? No, it's not. No, I love it. I love it more. No, your love of Sea of Thieves wishes it could reach the level of affection I have for Rogue Legacy.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you wearing a t-shirt that is oh,
for God's sake.
There we go.
Rogue Legacy?
You know what? I'm not wearing a Rogue Legacy shirt at this time, because my Rogue Legacy shirt is framed right above my desk here, so that it will never be spoiled by human chest hair or back sweat, of which I have plenty. Okay. I actually do not have a Rogue Legacy shirt. I'm sorry.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but Dead Cells is great. I'm digging it.
Dead Cells is really good.
Really digging it. I'm very pleased with it. So,
is it a 9.7?
A second here. Nintendo Life.com.
That's a high review. That's a very high review. You have to really love something.
I don't know. I've not played it enough to form a scored opinion on it yet. But
it's a fun game.
But yeah, I've played it for maybe an hour and a half, and I'm really, really digging it. So
nice.
That's my
Me too.
That's my review. If it happens to be worded like the 8-4 guys' discussion about this game, Things happen.
All right. Yeah.
Things happen.
Things do happen.
Maybe we just both are reading off the same press release. I don't know.
Mm.
What are you
That's
playing?
all you've been playing?
Sickety J.
Well, no shocker here. I've been playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we already heard about this.
You've
already talked about it.
I do want to talk a little bit about the alliance system that they put out.
Oh boy.
So you can fly a flag. You can offer alliance or join alliance or leave alliance. Those are your options.
Okay.
So I often fly with offer alliance because I want to be friendly. And in the week that you played, Greg, they had to deactivate the skeleton forts. So those were due to a bug. Those were not available the first week, but they turned them back on.
I still have not done a skeleton fort.
They turned them back on, and we'll do one when you play again.
Yep.
And which I think you said you're going to play on Wednesday.
This Wednesday. Yep.
Okay, we'll play. Maybe we'll broadcast it. That'll be fun. But so they turned them back on this week, and I did a skeleton fort today.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because we had the offer alliance flag up, and another ship came by, and they could, if they wanted to, join the alliance that we were offering. They did not, and I kept trying to get them over voice chat to talk to me, and they would not. They were in party chat or something. So instead, I grabbed an explosive barrel and delivered it onto their ship and killed them all.
Wow.
Yeah. And sank them. And
be my friend, or I'll kill you.
Join my alliance, or you're dead.
The only reason any of us talked to CJ at work back in the day.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So then another ship pulls up, and they have the join alliance on. So this I was in a sloop with a crewmate, and then this ship that pulls up is a brigantine that has 3 players on it, and they join our alliance. And they are on voice comms, and we say, "Hey, do you want to do the fort with us? Let's do it." We end up doing the skeleton fort together and defeating the skeleton captain and getting the key for the safe or the vault. And they open the vault, and we start splitting up the loot. Split up the loot, and towards the end, I noticed that their team has started to go silent on voice chat, and also one of them is carrying a gunpowder barrel. And so we finished loading our stuff up onto our boat, and I start turning the boat around. We hadn't even gotten all of the loot out of the vault yet, but we had the most important stuff. So me and my crewmate, my crewmate says, "Hey, I think we should get out of here," because we both saw what was possibly happening, and we were still in an alliance with this 3-player ship, and of course, as we turn around and get ready to drop the sails, they hit us with a gunpowder barrel.
That's lame.
Puts 4 holes in the ship. So at this point, we're still in an alliance with them. And we drop our sails. My crewmate is repairing the ship below. I'm trying to steer. We get out a little bit from them, and they followed us for a little while and shot cannonballs at us, but we were able to escape. And of course, at that point, we dropped the alliance and cached everything in far away at an outpost. But the idea now that you have a sort of formal way to offer an alliance and then very possibly have it be broken or betrayed, like at the end, just makes the game more interesting. Even more interesting.
It's a great system, for sure. It adds a whole new element to it.
Yeah, because of course, people who do that, you could call them names.
Like what? Like what, CJ? What kind of names would you call them?
I didn't call them anything.
No? But you just too nice to call them names.
But yeah, on Twitter and on Reddit and the places where people chat about Sea of Thieves, there's been a lot of, we got in this alliance with another ship and they betrayed us and that was awful. But to me, it's like it's encouraging you to be more like a pirate. Like it's getting you in these situations where these betrayals can happen more naturally. I mean, before the alliance system came into
natural
play,
betrayals.
That's right.
All the other betrayals were synthetic.
That's right. Before the alliance system, you could get into very uneasy alliances anyway, and those sometimes worked out well and sometimes worked out very badly. And The same is true here, only there's like the flag on your ship says that you're trying to be friendly and people pay attention to that. So it's just a very interesting dynamic that has been added to the game, and I love it. So, and I like the game anyway, of course, but
which anyone who's been listening knows.
They know that already. Exactly.
My God, do they know that?
Yeah. And then this week is the third week of cursed sales. Maybe the Kraken will come back this week.
Is the Kraken off? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It could be very interesting. Anyway, I think it's time to talk about the tweets that we have received.
Tweedly deedly dee. Tweedly deedly dee. Tweet.
You know what?
Tweet.
You don't do that with a little more energy. We're going to get Mudron back here and replace you.
Tweet.
There you go.
All right.
How's that?
Let's do this one.
To be fair, I did steal those lyrics.
Those true.
Those are not my original lyrics. I did not come up with that song.
To be transparent, and somebody, I think a year or two ago, somebody thought that you had come up with that.
By a year or two, I think you mean probably like a month or so.
Maybe
that was fairly.
Well, he said lyrics, not tune. He said lyrics, not tune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you were talking about
that whole thing. It's a Rolling Stone song. It's an old Rolling Stone song. It's called Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah. Let's do this one from hacker alias Megaball, who says, having a blast with WarioWare Gold, saw the Persona Q2 trailer and waiting for Etrian Odyssey X and Luigi's Mansion. Is your 3DS refusing to die too?
I have not touched my 3DS in so long.
This year I've only touched my 3DS to play WarioWare Gold.
I haven't done that.
I'm playing WarioWare, and I've been playing Sanrio characters Picross.
Yep.
I don't know how much more I'm going to play of it though after I finish up those games. To be perfectly honest. So,
I mean, Luigi's Mansion, when that comes out, I'll play that.
Yeah,
I might do that because I like Luigi's Mansion so much, and I haven't played the original in so long. It will be nice to have that.
Yeah. But I think he mentions Persona Q2 and Etrian Odyssey. Like, if you're into the JRPG scene, like the 3DS has just gotten a lot of those.
Yeah,
so, it's kind of like the Vita, right? I mean, the Vita went that way too.
That's true,
and the PSP, really.
Yeah, very true. Anyway, let's do this one from hacker alias Top Gun 12, who says, what are some ways to introduce video games to young children? My wife and I have a baby due in December, so how and when I expose them to video games / electronics is something I could use some advice on. Thanks in advance.
Here comes the start them with the early games joke. Go for it.
Right. Go ahead and make it. We'll get past it.
I made Dana swallow a Game Boy Micro.
Jesus.
That's not how it works. That had a copy of Treasure's Astro Boy game in it.
Oh,
good choice.
And
that is a good choice.
Yeah. And Finn, I think has turned out really well ever since.
Yeah.
How to introduce games to young children? Just play games around young children.
Exactly.
That is really the answer.
Multiplayer games too. If you,
you know what? Not even. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't go out of my way to do that with my kids. And the thing is that like they sort of came to games on their own. They were surrounded by them, obviously.
Yeah.
But like my son definitely got into them much faster than my girls did. But he's into games that I'm not into. I mean, he's sort of found his own way on that stuff. And my girls are just now starting to get into games. Like my youngest is a big Mario Kart fan all of a sudden.
Yep.
And my oldest is all about Roblox. So, but I mean, I didn't, there was never a moment where it's like placed a controller in their hands and said, try this, or, but I mean, I wasn't weird about playing games around them. I played appropriate games around them. But it they just sort of came to it on their own. There's no real introducing it to them. You don't introduce it any more than you introduce television or anything like that.
Yeah, especially if you are going to have a tablet device or something with educational games or any sorts of things. Like they will get into games on their own through that.
Yeah.
They may be games that you would have no interest in, like Roblox or something like that. But yeah, and the first game that I played with Charlotte was Kirby's Epic Yarn, because that has a multiplayer aspect to it. You can play 2 players simultaneous, and it's quite easy. So that was the first one that we tried together. And then now she plays Lego City Undercover and Roblox and Dragon Quest Builders and Zelda and all sorts of things.
I have to say, watching, because my youngest is 6, and watching her play Mario Kart 8 has really made me appreciate the sort of kid-friendly settings they put in that game,
like the auto,
curves
and stuff like that.
She still gets to play, but she's enjoying some real success while she's playing, and she loves it. It's not auto win or anything, but it really takes the hard edges off of the control and off of the gameplay. And I like, being someone who wouldn't never try that, because I've been playing Mario Kart games for 20 years. Watching someone else who needs it experience it, it's like, yeah, Nintendo really knows what they're doing when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah,
you really have to respect it.
Yeah, that and like the Super Guide thing, like the P-Wing that allows you to be invincible.
Yeah,
like those are good additions.
They're experts at staving off frustration in young and new players.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, let's do this one from a hacker alias Mark's Remark, who says, "What was your most played demo of a game? I played a ton of Tony Hawk on the Dreamcast and Metal Gear Solid 2 from the Zone of the Enders bonus."
Yeah, that Metal Gear Solid 2 demo was definitely way up there.
That I would agree. I think that might actually be my most played.
Yeah,
maybe the Crackdown demo.
Oh, the Crackdown demo. That might be mine.
That was really good
too. Or rewinding even further back, the Parappa the Rapper demo that was on.
That was on what
with the PlayStation Magazine.
Yeah, that's right. I played that a crap load of times.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about Crackdown. I played that demo a lot.
Yeah.
That game's so good. Anyway, hacker alias Scoop Jessica says Ninja announced he won't stream with girl gamers because they are gross and have cooties. I might be paraphrasing. Agree or highly agree / obvious sarcasm or / obvious sarcasm.
Yeah, get the slashes right,
Sorry.
CJ.
Sorry.
Screwing it up.
Sorry.
Oh man.
Gosh.
Yeah, this is the HTML code is going to be completely messed up on our podcast now.
Sorry. Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw this. I didn't read too much about it because
me neither.
I don't give a rat's ass about Fortnite streamers.
There's that. There is that.
I don't. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're not my bag.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, from what I understand, I guess this guy's married, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I not to this guy, this guy has
this guy over here
has like millions of people watching him play Fortnite, and he could buy and sell all three of us.
Yeah.
With the change in his pocket. But I guess he's married, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And he doesn't, and maybe I'm misinterpreting this from the bit of information I've gleaned, but he doesn't want to be streaming with women because he is afraid of like people spreading rumors that he's flirting with them or having affairs or something, or maybe he's afraid of actually flirting or something.
No, I think that's an important distinction from what I've read from the actual excerpt of the interview.
Right.
It's not sort of that ridiculous Mike Pence crap where it's like I won't have dinner with another woman with my wife not there because I'm afraid of what might happen.
Right.
Or the the high school girls need skirts that go below their knees because their knees are too sexy. Like it's nothing like that, right? Like he's basically saying like, no, he's basically saying the internet sucks.
Yeah.
And if I say anything even remotely flirtatious, he's afraid that that piece of video will get clipped, will get shared, and there will be certain people who will say, see, he's cheating on his wife, see, he's sleeping with this girl, and blah, 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 blah. And he said his defense for what he said is, I shouldn't even say his reason for what he's saying is that he doesn't want to have that bullshit happen and have his wife get drawn into it.
Right.
Okay. Is what he's saying, which I can understand. I can respect that. But I also think that he's doing himself a disservice in that he is super popular right now. He's actually got a platform to say, no, this is stupid. You know, and the people who are going to do this, screw them. Like we're not going to give this any oxygen at all. Like, look, a man and a woman can be friends and not have to want to have sex with one another. Like, it's possible. Hello. You know, because he's the other thing that he's done. My understanding is that he, I don't know if this is recent or something, but it's something you see pop up all the time where he said that he doesn't curse in his streams anymore because he realizes that most of it, his audience is young. Right. I have tons of respect for that. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
You know, so I mean, he clearly knows that he influences a large part of his audience, which means I think he should recognize. I'm sad that he doesn't recognize that he's in a position where he could influence them in this way as well.
Right.
I get where he's coming from. I think it's misdirected, but I get where he's coming from.
I do think, though, I will say I've ever since Sea of Thieves came out, we'll roll it back to that.
Jesus, of course, really. How does this relate to Adult Swim, CJ?
It doesn't. But by the way, Death's Gambit.
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
On your PlayStation 4 and PC.
Oh my goodness.
No Switch?
No. PS4 and PC.
Okay.
And so when that game came out, and even before, I would watch people streaming Sea of Thieves. I'd have a little window open on my computer and kind of watch in the background while I was doing other things. And the two streamers that I watch are Eddie Monster, who is a dude, and Captain Ash Bacon, who is female. And in the chat, there is a lot of banter about how the two have a certain flirtatious rapport, etc. Like, are you guys dating? That kind of thing, like, would come up all the time. Even when they would say it's not a thing, like there's nothing happening. Right. It would come up all the time.
See, and that's the thing. It does come up all the time. And I totally get, like, that's got to be exhausting. When you're popular, it's got to be exhausting. However, I think it's more important to say, no, we're just friends. We're just hanging out. We're just playing. Like, you know.
I think if you have a platform that large and an audience that large, and you have such an outreach that clearly he recognizes and understands, you know, positive things that he can do with it, sending out this message of boys, you need to be scared of girls. Is dangerous. At best. Because I mean, that is the message.
You shouldn't play video games with girls because they are whatever.
Because the message is because you might get in trouble. Because someone might start saying something about you.
It feeds into that terrible line of thinking that, you know, it feeds into the whole women cry rape line of thinking. It really does. Like that's really the road you're heading down when you start thinking that way.
Right.
You know, so and it also feeds into the whole boys can't control themselves, which I hate.
No, he you know, if he does recognize the influence that he has and the effect that he can have on kids watching his stuff, he should, like Greg was saying, take that opportunity to be like, yes, you know, this woman and I are playing games, and because we are people like playing games, and I am just playing. I'm not playing a game with some woman
with similar interests.
I'm playing a game with a person who really wants to play Fortnite or whatever.
Yes.
You know, it's and to specifically say, that's a girl. I got to stay away from her. She can't play this game with me because I don't want to get in trouble. That's
weird.
That is not a great message to be sending. So
No.
I don't know. Hopefully he hears some of the feedback that people have been saying. Certainly there have been articles sort of countering his argument, and hopefully he reconsiders. But sure. I don't know. I don't know this guy.
All right, hacker alias Worth Nintendo says, "Good day from down under."
Crikey!
There's a terrible Australian accent.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie.
There you go.
Guys, what games or type of games do you like to play to escape or are just feeling really depressed? I had to put down my 19-year-old cat this week and just finding it hard to get motivated to play anything. Sorry for the downer question, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I'll answer.
First of all, before we answer, sorry about your cat.
Very sorry about your cat. I had a year ago my cat of
Houdini.
17 years. We had to put him down as well.
Still remember when you got Houdini?
Yeah, it was a terrible day.
I still remember when Houdini shredded my arms because I was rescuing him from a burning apartment building.
There you go.
I remember that.
He was a good cat.
That little rat bastard cat.
It's a very good
but
cat.
he was a good cat. He hated me. That cat hated me.
That cat did hate you.
You probably listened to the podcast.
I have never seen Houdini's a very friendly cat. I've never seen him dislike anyone as much as he disliked you.
Seriously, honestly, I believe Houdini was jealous of me because this was when we were roommates. This is when we were roommates.
Yeah.
Because when you lived in Illinois, you're living by yourself, right?
Yeah.
It was you and the cat.
Yeah.
And then you moved
your box of Oreos.
And you well,
but Houdini doesn't hate Adrian.
Huh?
Well, Houdini's dead.
Well, also, yeah. Just that. Thanks, Greg.
Jeez, what an asshole. Jeez.
God damn.
Wow. But no, then all of a sudden Houdini's life gets disrupted. He's hauled off to another state.
True.
In a new house.
Yes.
And then suddenly there's this guy.
Someone eating aerosol cheese on the couch.
Hey.
God, that's gross.
Listen, couch cushions have always been the best vessel for licking aerosol cheese off of. And I'll be damned if living with someone else was going to deprive me of that carnal pleasure.
I burned that couch. All right.
Oh man. But uplifting games to get you out of a funk.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Number one.
Oh, that's a good answer.
That's a fun one. It's got lots of things to take your mind off of anything that's troubling you. Basically, I do Rock Band a lot. I find that helps.
I don't have any like games that are overtly uplifting, but games that are uplifting for me.
Yeah.
There's a naked kid peeking around your door, Phil.
Hold on. He's got his undies on. Hold on.
Like for me, like I'll go back to like a Mega Man 2 or something like that, like something that I just don't find overly challenging, just
exactly
fun
just
and enjoyable, and
a game that you can zone out and play.
Yeah.
Something like Super Metroid for me is a good one.
Where
I know that map, I know that game very well, so I can just kind of zone out and play it.
Yeah.
Or Super Mario Brothers, or a game from my youth.
Something that's extremely familiar with happy memories attached to it.
Absolutely. Yes. All right. Let's wrap this up with this tweet from hacker alias Burger Electrics, who says, as folks who have reviewed stuff for money professionally, how do you go about researching what to buy when you're looking for things that aren't entertainment/tech? Things like furniture, lawnmowers, plumber, clothing, etc. I like the wire cutter myself. I will say I love the wire cutter as well.
I've never heard of the wire cutter.
I use that a lot. The wire cutter and Sweet Home. The Sweet Home. I think now they're owned by the New York Times or something. But they always give you great recommendations. Usually it's like the best thing for the average user, and then they give you the value choice, like for the budget conscious person, and then the runners up. They go down everything. It's great.
Sounds useful.
And I'll oftentimes, if it's just kind of a throwaway thing that I need to get, like they do towels and they do all sorts of things for kitchen, home, electronics, etc. I'll just go with whatever their top pick is generally. And then for other things, I'll look at Amazon reviews, even though some of those are bad. There's a site, I can't remember the name of it now. I'll link to it in the show notes if I can come up with it. But for any product, you can put in the Amazon URL and it'll tell you how likely it is that the user reviews are faked.
Oh, cool.
By kind of analyzing the text, like the use of repeat words and things like that, and the dates on all of the reviews. So that's kind of handy. I don't remember the name of the site right now, but I'll link to that in the show notes. And then for like services and such, in the US, we have this thing called Angie's List that is really good for like home repair stuff and local businesses. So I use that.
I don't have anything better than anything you just said.
Okay.
I mean, I just usually, do the Amazon review thing. And if I'm on a particular site, I'll look at the, I generally won't buy anything that doesn't have any user reviews.
Right. Yeah.
But, and then I also, I come talk to you guys, and I have certain people that I follow on Twitter that I really trust and respect when it comes to opinions on different things. So, yeah, it's always sort of an amalgamation of a bunch of different thoughts and, and reviews and that sort of thing.
I'm back. What I miss.
Now, Phil, do you use any sort of professional review sites to, like, when you're researching things to purchase that you may not have a lot of knowledge on?
That aren't like video games.
Aren't video games.
Yeah.
No, not really. Like what are we talking about here?
Like furniture, lawnmowers, hiring a plumber.
I rent.
Okay.
I rent, so I don't have to mow lawns or do my own plumbing.
You don't have to do those things.
Okay. And clothing, you've seen how I dress. I clearly do not.
If the shirt's not free, Phil's not buying it.
I do not. I don't get free shirts anymore.
That Pac-Man shirt, though, I've seen that at Walmart because I have that shirt.
Is this a Walmart shirt?
Walmart shirt.
This might have been a Target shirt. Well, maybe it was. I don't know.
Oh,
but
Walmart.
Yeah, it might be. I certainly have a Walmart near me.
Okay.
I had to my wife, my wife, you've met my wife.
Yeah.
She is out of town right now. She recently got a new job about like 2 weeks ago. She got a new job at a new iOS developer that is based out of China, and they wanted her to fly out to China for 3 weeks to meet her team. And because she's kind of like in charge of a project out there now, so she's kind of doing a bunch of work. So this is why Finn just came knocking on the door because he needed me. Because
I just realized she's gone.
No, I'm single dadding it for a while.
So the iPad ran out of battery.
No, he wanted to. Well, he was playing a game. He was playing some Minecraft, and he wanted to watch some Adventure Time. And so he needed me to get the Apple TV on, but then he decided he wanted to play a different game, so I just set him up with a different game, and
there you
go. Got him. Yeah, you know what he's playing? I forgot to mention this. I did pick up. I haven't played it myself, but I picked up for the Switch Go Vacation.
Yes.
Wow, which is it was originally
game.
Yeah, it was originally a Wii game, and it's kind of like an expanded sort of Wii Sports kind of thing. You're on like a resort island, and there's like 50 something little mini sport games kind of in that Wii Sports style. And yeah, like you said, it's a Namco Bandai game, but for whatever reason, Nintendo decided to publish it on Switch.
Yeah.
And I picked it up because you can play multiplayers, and I thought it'd be fun for he and I to play together. And yeah, so I haven't really touched it yet, but he's been having a blast with it. So
cool.
Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, no, the most going back to your researching reviews thing. I mean, the most I will do is if I'm buying like a USB drive or something like that. I'll hop on Amazon and just look at the customer reviews before pulling the trigger.
Yeah, but you shouldn't trust those all the time.
That is true. Those there's some article or something that came out recently.
Yeah, a lot of them are faked, and there's a site that I'll link to in the
Yeah.
show notes that I don't remember the name of. You
Yeah.
can put a URL for any item on Amazon, and it'll tell you the likelihood that the reviews are all fake. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've also heard something about how apparently like a lot of the negative reviews you can almost kind of ignore.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Indeed. What was I was gonna mention one other thing. Oh, when I bought my 4K TV, I went on Twitter and asked Twitter, and also a friend of mine had just bought this TV and had great things to say about it. So
yeah, well, and the same thing. Last time I bought a TV, I believe I asked you guys and some of the people I work with, because I'm in a circle of people who are relatively tech savvy.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I would certainly take your guys' advice over a TV
review site
than I would, some Amazon review or even like does IGN, do they review gear? Do they have a gear section where they review TVs and stuff? I don't know, but I would take your guys' word on a quality TV over some website.
Sure.
Professional or otherwise. So
well, thank you, Phil.
Well, don't get cocky about it.
Trust in us.
Don't let's not oversell it. Jeez, jeez. I don't want you to be my kid's godparent or anything. I've seen how you live.
Before we start,
poor CJ looks so hurt. I was just kidding, buddy. Jeez, please.
But I mean, he's not your kid's godparent, so why is he hurt?
No,
that's true. It's true.
Before we start our outro, just want to call out that I have scheduled the first extra. Oh, sorry, it's the second one this year. Second Extra Life marathon for the year. It's going to be based on the Shinobi series. So that was what some of my listeners were asking for. So September 1st, mark your calendar. September 1st, 9 a.m. Eastern. I'll be playing through. Well, I don't know if I'll be finishing, but I'll be playing a lot of all of the Shinobi games, from the original arcade game right up to the second PlayStation 2 game. Not going to have the 3DS game on there because I can't stream those.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let me ask you this: are you going to be playing Alex Kidd in Shinobi
That
World?
Is on the list, my friend.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So
not released in Japan, I don't believe, right?
I really don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on those yet.
I think that was just a Western release, but
yeah, we're talking like Shinobi, Shadow Dancer on the Genesis and the arcade, Revenge of Shinobi, Shinobi 3, Cyber Shinobi. I don't know how long I'll be able to handle that one.
That was Master System, right?
Terrible Master System game.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, Shinobi on the PlayStation 2. The follow-up to Shinobi, its name I cannot remember. Kunoichi?
Kunoichi, yeah.
Yes.
Which is just that just means female ninja.
Right. And of course the amazing Shinobi Legions for the Saturn.
Oh yeah.
Naturally.
That's the digitized one.
That's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Nightshade? That was the name of the game, Nightshade.
Oh, okay. It was Kunoichi in Japan though, right?
I think so, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's right.
But anyway,
they changed the name.
Yeah, September 1st.
Revenge of Shinobi, by the way.
So good.
So good. Holy cow. I mean, Shadow Dancer is pretty good. Shinobi 3 is great, but man, there's something about Revenge of Shinobi that
it's fantastic. Yeah.
Now which version? Tough guy.
Unfortunately, I could only get Rev 3 running for some reason.
Oh, really?
Now, if I can get my hands on a cartridge copy of the original version, that's the one I prefer to play.
Yeah.
But we'll have lots to talk about during the actual stream.
Revenge of Shinobi is a game rife with copyright infringement.
Go check out Generation 16.
Yeah, and there are multiple versions of that game. Which episode is that? Do you remember?
I'd have to look that up. I'd have to look it up.
Okay, but yeah, great game. Check out Gen 16.
Hang on, I'm going to find out real quick. It is episode 21.
21. Look at that. So go watch episode 21 of Generation 16. More information about this outstanding game.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find Generation 16 episodes.
Check out the latest one.
Techno Cop. Indeed. You'll find our contact information. You'll find show notes and links to all the stuff that we talked about. Just do your player1podcast.com/ and then the episode number. It'll bring you right to it. So there you go on that. We got a Discord server as well. You can chat in there. Link to it in our show notes and also on our Twitter profile. And if you're one of them old school type people, on our website, we got a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to Apple's podcast app. You can also head over to the App Store and invest $1.99
cheap
to pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application, which gives you one touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can see archives of our show and watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. Just follow our Twitter account to find out when we will be broadcasting our next live show. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Those Sea of Thieves shirts ain't cheap, folks. CJ needs as many as he can get.
Oh, God.
One for every day of the week. Oh, he's got a hat, too.
Children.
You got a hat too. You
look like
a true player.
What's up, fellow young people?
Oh my goodness. Hey, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com and there you will find a Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding. And it is outstanding. Go learn about Technocop. Go learn about Revenge of Shinobi. Web series Generation 16 about North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
No, thank you for all the work you do. And hey, let's thank the great folks over at Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social, the funniest for my podcast dollar show on the internet. They have invited us back to Scoop Fest this year in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This October 11th through the 14th. We had a blast and a half last year.
True.
And we're gonna have a blast this year. I bet you. We are going to be there. October 11th is the VIP night. We're going to be going to the Tournament of Kings at Excalibur. And then the remainder of the dates is going to be filled with comedy, with live podcasts, with improv. I saw some of the acts that they're going to have.
They got the schedule up now.
Yeah, they got the schedule. If you head over to heyscoops.com/ScoopFestVegas, you can see who's going to be there. There's some pretty great stuff, especially if you are a fan of magicians. There's some great magicians going to be there as well. So I hope everyone joins us. You can. Oh, are the websites set up yet? I don't know if the website.
So I went to the URL. URL that you gave me last week.
Okay, so you can head over to heyscoops.com/P1 P1 podcast.
No,
I'm going
that's not correct.
What? What is it? What is the
HeyScoops.com/player1.
Player one?
Either the numeral or the word.
Okay, yes, player one. HeyScoops.com/player1. Spell out that one, write it as a number. We don't care. What it will get you though, as a listener, is $40 off your tickets for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
so
that's a great deal right there.
It is
a great deal.
So please, go do that. We would love to see people in Vegas.
Yes, we would.
So
we'll play some Mario Kart.
Yeah,
there. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure games. Probably Splatoon.
There'll be lots
probably
of stuff.
A little of everything. We'll play everything.
Yes. Yeah. So should we go? You know what though? I don't know if the website's up yet.
Well, maybe not.
I know we're kind of doing.
We're doing it anyway. Doing it live. Well, not found. Okay, maybe it's not then. Yeah. It's going to be live though, so maybe.
So
CJ, by the time
CJ, you need to do some editing this week.
Okay.
So what you need to do, folks, is go to heyscoops.com/scoopfestvegas.
Yes.
And there you will find links to get the show tickets. And if you use the coupon code A8ICC10, you will save money on your room at the Orleans Hotel and Casino.
That's right.
And what's that code again, CJ? A8ICC10. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. So that is where you want to go right now to get your Scoopfest tickets.
Or you can wait until the website's live and then go.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, see, the idea, CJ, is for you to edit
Sweet
all that.
Jesus, let's end the sentence.
Edit all that stuff out, CJ.
Okay, I will.
Edit that out.
Well, it's not, yeah. Okay.
Jeez Louise. CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all that you do.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Every day, in every way.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you very much for all the rest of the stuff that you do.
Thanks, Phil.
Yes, indeed. And of course, thanks to our fantastic, beautiful listeners. May you all be happy. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. And stick around, Patreon listeners, for our after show.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes. Toodles.
Bye-bye.